for the longest time, if you were looking in Meridiana and you were looking at houses that were 65 foot, there was one builder that you were going to and you were stopping at them pretty much every time, and that has been Highland Homes. And y'all know I am Highland Homes biased. I love myself some Highland Homes, but one of my favorite builders in all of the Houston Metro has just thrown their hat in the race. Newmark Homes has opened up a 65-foot section, and I'm standing in one of the first inventory homes that is completed for them that I'm going to show you. So this is a YouTube first. You have exclusive access to see some of the quality and craftsmanship and finishes of an inventory home for Newmark Homes in Meridiana, and we're going to see if Highland Homes is going to hold on to their crown or if Newmark is going to become the new king of the 65-footer. If that sounds good, stay tuned. All right, first things first, curb appeal. It's a different look, man. You're getting, and this is a smaller product than you would typically see, right? In this size section. This is gonna be around 2,600 square feet. And so we're gonna see what we lost to go down to that square footage, but even still, we are still getting upgraded, more custom homey kind of things because Newmark has that more customized DNA. We'll talk about that as we go through this house with the experience that my clients have had on their build that they got coming up. But we see separated garage. You get a super Newmarky feature of this little courtyard, little patio area that has traditionally been a Newmark thing, no matter the size footprint. And so it's cool to see that they are bringing that different exterior and look versus some of the stuff that you would typically see on, and these are actually homes that I've sold on this street. So this has been lovely to me, but you see it's basically the same, kind of one note straight across. And so to get something that is drastically different from what we're used to seeing at this footprint, I think it's also gonna bring a level of character and charm to these sections. But dope, dope, dope. Let's get into it. This one's gonna be between 25 and 2,600 square feet. And so just seeing those numbers, I'm going to imagine that I am probably going to lose a movie room, but I should still have 4 beds, an office, or I should still have a dining or something. Looks like they kept the dining, so I'm looking at it and saying, office, movie room, you're in danger, girl. You in danger, girl. All right, but we still have half bath. Let's go to this little wing. And it's interesting seeing this plan because I can see the influence of how this is shaped compared to, let's say, the much bigger Cologne plan in Ellison. It's a really big 2-story, but the first floor shapes out this way, and then this is like a bonus office on that plan. And so it's interesting to see just how they maneuver and manipulate the numbers to make this one still work. So we got a Jack and Jill off of this front bed. Good size closet. Upgraded flooring. Looks like we have hardwood in here. Another closet because we in Texas and we need that storage. This one doesn't actually have a back neighbor, so this one is a more premium lot. We like that. Really good size. This has a good width on it. That would be your TV wall over here. Looking at this wall, you should have enough room for a queen for sure. You could probably force a king if you wanted to. I would say a queen would be fine in here. Secondary closet is also a nice size. And this is the other side of that Jack and Jill. For those of y'all that have been here a while, you know I ain't walking through, I'm walking around because we need them what? We need the minutes. And so that's what we're gonna do. Already showed you that half bath. Loving the width of this corridor. You can feel that you're in a product that's 60+ foot wide, or on a lot product that is 60 foot wide. You can feel that. This is a really good size dining room. Really nice. And so if you were to say, hey, I don't need that dining room. We'll kind of maneuver through the house and see what we can do, or talk about what some of my clients did on their build, where they pretty much took a plan and just started redrawing stuff. That is the beauty of working with Newmark that has that custom DNA. You pay a nominal redraw fee, and then that is kind of tacked on to the overall price of the home. And as long as you're willing to pay for the material cost of the change to do it, they'll pretty much do it. They are super customizable, and I got a family going right through there. So what my family did, they're changing closets, they're bumping out primaries, they're bumping out bathrooms, they're doing all kinds of stuff in that house, and it was not anything that was super difficult to do. They did a lot of the stuff with Sharon. Shout out to Sharon for giving me the keys today and letting me know that she had some beautiful inventories that I could check out. Sharon gave me the rundown. She did a lot of the pre-work for them. She drafted up stuff on her computer, sent that off to their architect. Their architect moved things around and was like, hey, this is the price to do it. You want to do it? My clients were like, let's do it. And so now we're moving ahead. So if I'm looking at this plan and I'm just like, hey, what could I do to squeeze out more on this one? Maybe you make this into a movie room, and then maybe you push that corner back on this same plan back to where these columns are outside, and now you have a dining room area over there. You get your movie room over here, right? Because you have that ability with this builder to make those kind of decisions, you can get creative. And with Sharon being as honest as she is, she might say, hey, well, this plan, the one that you're choosing, it would probably be easier to go up to the bigger plan and then make these maneuvers to save you a little bit of money. She'll be open and honest with you about that. But the fact that they have that ability to do it is very unique for the Metro, because most of the high production volume builders just don't have it. They have their kind of pre-canned stock structural upgrades that they're willing to do, that they've already gotten approved or they already have drawings on, and you can go on their websites and say, hey, these are the things that I want, and that's usually customizable enough for most people. But if you're type A and you got a certain look and a certain feel and thing that you want to do, the builder that you're going to probably want to deal with out here at this size footprint is probably going to be Newmark. Okay, so getting back into the home, looks like we have like a little office, little niche back here, which I think is cool. Good little use of space. Does it have its own little light? Yes, it does. Or maybe this the the Roomba corner. All your little robot vacs and things, hide them out over here. This is the 2-car garage that we got going over here. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to ask them what that is. Never seen that. I ain't gonna mess with it either. I ain't gonna do it. Okay, good size laundry. You could probably squeeze a table or something in here. Probably not quite enough room on this one for like a deep freezer or something in here to add. I love when you got a sink facing outside. Always been a fan of that. It's just a unique kind of thing. Again, I think this is kind of inspired by how the kitchen is set up in the Cologne plan in Ellison. So it's interesting that even on the smaller footprint, you can still get the vibes. But how this is currently set up, it looks like you got enough little room here for a little circle table. So I would actually probably have the little floating dining there, which I'm not the hugest fan of, but it would do for me. And then I would probably definitely make this into like a flex space. I would close this up or put some glass doors or something right there, and I would probably make that my little media space. Go outside, let's check this out. Good size backyard. That's not ideal, but sometimes that's the the luck or lack of luck of draw that you get on the lots that the builders get, right? The builders buy them and they don't know where center point and the people are gonna put utility easements. They just don't know, they have no idea. But on inventory, we got outdoor kitchen prep, we got gas prep, we got extra plugs for probably refrigerators and things. Tons of plugs out here, all right? And this is an inventory home. This was not built for someone. Side yard, they do the upgraded door out of that garage to the back so you don't have to walk around. Just really smart, thoughtful things that they've done on this one. Looks like we got gutters that they've also added to the whole back. Wall of windows. I love it. This is a great size, man. I am a fan of what I am seeing back here. I would say the only bummer on this one, and I'm just looking at it from outside of this plan, would I like this plan somewhere else? I think yes, so far, with some modifications, because you could likely bump back this living room or make a little atrium. You could probably do so much just with this space, but maybe that bumps you into another plan like we were talking about a couple moments ago. But I'm loving what I'm seeing so far, and that little window feature looking out is just cool, because like I said, man, so many plans just got you looking at a wall or looking at something that's not as cool. And so I'm a fan. And then you get the custom touch and feel, man. If you want to go to the design center and spend a bunch of money, they'll have a bunch of items that are pretty to let you do it. But like I've been saying over the last few weeks, my go-tos on inventory, pretty homes, Newmark's up there, Highland's up there. In certain neighborhoods, you'll get a Weston, that's super pretty. Certain neighborhoods, you'll get a Perry, that's super pretty. I'm starting to see Perry kind of step up there and add sliders and upgraded cabinets and things. They've always had the good hardware, but they've always had the good cabinets, but they're starting to add like pretty hardware, pretty tiles. They're kind of getting out of that old school color palette and being a little bit more modern. But of the ones that have always done it, Newmark's been one of the ones that have always done it. Gorgeous home. All right, let's go check out some of these other beds and see what we like. So we have a secondary bedroom over here that has its own ensuite, so that's a cool little bonus. Again, a really good size closet again, good height. So if you wanted to really maximize this and put a closet system in here, that would be a great thing to do. Standard tub. Standard bathroom, good size. Black hardware throughout. They didn't paint over it, so that's usually another little thing that I often will call out on some builders. Let me actually see, did they do the back hinge? Okay. So I, more times than not, will call that out. Well, let me say this. Some builders actually, even if you pay for black hardware, they don't cover this. They put this on and then they will clean this one off and they'll cover the door. The mark of a good crew to me, not necessarily the builders, more so the crew, is their pride in that they take in covering this up, because you paid extra money for this to be black, for this to just be painted over, right? And so I would be kind of raising hell if I paid for black hardware and they went and painted over half of it. But that's another story. That's just me being a little bit crazy OCD about some stuff. All right, so I am noticing that they didn't do 8-foot doors. Let me check to make sure I'm not tripping on the rest of them. So they did, it looks like they did it in the kitchen. No, they didn't do it in the kitchen either. So they just have really tall openings, which is kind of playing the trick on the eyes that you have really big doors, but you have like the normal 6, 8 doors in here, and it doesn't feel that crazy. Now that I'm panning back through here, yeah, I think I was catfished by all of these high angles that I see in these tall windows, that these are the normal like 6, 8 doors. Interesting. Got your fireplace in here. They already got your prep for your conduit for your low voltage and for your TV up there. Let me come down this little corridor. I'm always a fan of a house that got a corridor in it. And they're still working on this bathroom, but it is really pretty. Now, it shocks me that they do the crock pot tub. Shout out to Jasmine for that phrase, the crock pot. But yeah, just like the quality of stone, the quality of tile, the layout, the finishes are just, they're up there. This is an inventory home, okay? This was not a house that somebody backed out of, that they paid for all these upgraded things. This is a standard that they are setting for this market. And I love that Shannon came over here and she was just like, hey, I love that Miss Sharon came over here and was like, I'm doing it. We're gonna keep that quality up. We're gonna keep it pretty over here. Coming to primary, liking the windows, good size. Of course, you can fit king size bed in here. Probably can do a king size and have your little couch up front. Looking at some stuff, I got pre-wire for the security. I've started to see builders kind of all over, even more luxury builders, go away from doing full pre-wires on security and things. So it's good to see that over here that they're still doing it. We got nice trim with the quarter round to match this flooring. And yeah, I think this hardwood is gorgeous. Is it doing the tingy? Yeah, that's not tinging. So that's some real wood. But yeah, man, I am impressed with what I'm seeing. Beautiful range hood. I love that tile. That tile is gorgeous. Let's look at some of the stats on this one real quick. In just case you was wondering, if the knees is out, the knees is out, okay? It's hot out here, them knees is out. But yes, so this is the Florence plan. They currently have it at 658, and I'm telling you that we probably got way more room on this one, because another thing that Ms. Sharon has told me is that even if they're offering like a build incentive, she's been given some leeway to take the build incentive and put it towards the price of the inventory home. So if that makes more sense for you to do that, we could probably do that. And we just got a little room. I feel like, especially now that I've gotten my first one going with them, that I have a little bit more cachet built up in this neighborhood, which is important because we at the crib, man. I want you to be able to walk into any model home and be like, Aaron Lathan, they be like, what? Sire or Mrs. Madam? And I want them to roll out the red carpet with you as if I am there with you, whether I'm there with you or not. And I think that just going by how the process has been going on my client family's more custom build with them, I think that it's a good vibe that I'm feeling from them, and I think that they would be willing to help my clients do and get the thing done, whatever it is that they're trying to get done, okay? But yeah, this one is, like I said, between 25 and 2,600 square feet. They have a lot, and look at it. So if we look at it right now, they do have a option for a media room. It looks like it was going to be where that dining room area is. It would just change some walls up a little bit. It looks like it. So they're taking the idea that I have and putting it right there. The courtyard looks standard. Great room looks standard. It looks like you can bump out some patios and bump out some bedrooms and do some things to, it looks like you can actually get It looks like you can get a 4-car garage on this one, because if you take this 3rd car bay here, there's an option to give you another car garage bay. So if you're on a wide enough lot, you could get a 4-car garage out of this. That's crazy. Yeah, I am a fan of this plan. With some modifications, if you can give me a movie room, you can give me a little bit of a bigger office space and do what we've done so far, I think this plan is a winner, and I think we got some more room on it. Now, y'all told me, I asked y'all, if I showed you some stuff that's a little ugly, that's a little bit more in progress, that's a little bit not finished, that y'all would rock out with me. I gave you a little teaser with that bathroom not being finished. So I'm gonna see when we go into this next one that's still a little bit more deeply in construction and under construction phase, if y'all are gonna rock out with me. If I see you not finishing this video, I'm gonna be real mad at you, because I asked you and you told me that you would stick around for me. You told me, you gave me your word, okay? So now I'm about to test that out. We're going to one next door that is actually like a baby version of the Barono plan, which is the model home that I've shown you on the channel. You guys love that plan. So I'm gonna show you a baby version of it. I think they lose a movie room. I think they keep everything else. No, they keep the movie room, but I think they lose a bedroom. So it's like a 4-bedroom version of the model. And so we'll see what changes they made over there. We'll check it out, and then we'll talk price and see if it's worth it to you in this neighborhood. And then at the end of the day, we're gonna see if what y'all have seen so far, if you think that they're gonna give Highland Homes a run for their money in Meridiana. All right, so we are in progress, guys. But I love that model, so I'm interested to see how it switches up if they go down to a smaller version of it. And again, wood floors in here, man, looking good. Okay, so they kept the office on this one. Still good size, so I think they had their office kind of set up as like a library in the model, so they got some other stuff in here that you wouldn't naturally get. Looks like they went 6'8" doors again. So I'll ask Sharon what the price point is to upgrade those doors in a house this size. My clients did it on theirs, I believe, but I don't know if I saw that price. Secondary bedroom in here. And they're actually using this as an office in the model. So we got 1 bed down and an office. Again, tile up, upgraded tiles, upgraded flooring. Love the ceiling height. Again, if you want to add a little closet system, make this a little bit nicer on the closet size, you could definitely maximize it with that. Got a half bath, man. The ceiling height is, even though the doors are smaller, just the ceiling height is just making things just feel so much larger in here. You come over to here, you got an actual formal dining, formal / informal, because it is open. I have seen people close this up to make it more old school, but I actually like the sight lines of it being wide open like this. Gorgeous. And you come into the kitchen. So this is what I kind of meant in the last house. If you pushed out that wall a little bit, you could kind of make a little dining niche back here if you were trying to use this for something else. You would have that customization option with Newmark. Love that they went all the way to the top and added the trim. One of the biggest islands that I've ever seen. Huge. Gonna have your built-in cooktop or built-in oven, built-in microwave, cooktop, range hood. Looks like it's gonna be one of those ones that come up into this little joint here. Pantry not as awesome, but that has been a little bit of a note for everybody on the 65s. The 65s, man, people, you can build a over 4,000 square foot house here and it still will have a fairly small pantry. That just kind of is what it is. And then they do that thing outside that I love more than anything outside. Now they're doing the 2-story back patio. Again, more plumbing, more electrical, and gas. So they are doing, that's 2 for 2, where all of their inventory so far have a bunch of plugs out. Looks like we got gutters again. Looks like we got full gutters again. Looks like we got outdoor kitchen prep again. That is a great standard to me. So many times where I've had clients looking for a family home and they want to buy a house and they know that they got the dreams of having the cookout and all those things, and they're just like, well, man, I guess I gotta buy propane. And it puts a damper on that transaction. We often opt for somewhere else that already has a gas, that already has the infrastructure, right? So I'm glad that this is looking like it's a standard. We'll see on that last house that we got to see today, but it's looking so far like that's a standard. Got a big pole on this one, but you got tons of room. So that's tons of room for pool activity right there. Fresh sod out there. I didn't want to go stand in it. Got the spiral staircase, got the peekaboo looking down, man. You got all the elements of a firehouse. More storage, because we in Texas and you need that storage. Great size room, king size bed, obviously. Room for a whole mattress, a second mattress down here, because this is a really deep room. Split vanities. One's a little bit bigger so you can have more make-ready prep space, but they don't actually have it. Standalone tub, that's what I was expecting to see. And the last one, upgraded tiles, upgraded hardware, per use, good size closet, good size shower. So you can handle your business. And a good size closet again. And pretty much all of the closets at this size, if it's not a custom home builder, even on some custom home builders, I've seen them not do like a full custom closet system. And so if that's something that you're interested in, that's gonna be something that you're gonna have to probably do after the fact, unless you're building with them. And then I would say it's probably smarter to actually go to a closet company, and you probably pay less than going through the builder on this, or ask them if they have a carpenter that they can work with to get it knocked out. It looks like we got some electrical for some stairway lighting. Oh, this fancy. Got some of the guys in here still working. I try not to be in their way. Okay, so they did. Did they? Hold on. All right, so on the model, that's the actual movie room over there. So we'll come over here. It looks like they have that closed in, but I see a step. Oh, them rascals, man. Step down. Love it. Love it. Love it, love it. So this little step down, oh, I love this so much. This reminds me of the little attic space that we converted for our house, just with all the different pitches when we were leaving it. This was kind of actually The ceiling detail and how we had it framed up was kind of actually inspired by what we had seen in some of the ceilings for a Newmark. I believe it was in the Highlands, just with how angled it was. But yeah, great size. Love to step down. Super fan. But to me, that means that we could probably still have something go over there if you just wanted it to go over there. More storage. Peekaboo crew, I got y'all. Both sides. Yeah, this fire. I'm gonna have to put this on the list for Rissa. This is a firehouse. Slide in through the back. Good sized room with a good sized closet. Looks like we got, again, enough room to go up if you wanted to increase the size of what you got. Looks like we got the beginning of a Jack and Jill bath, and y'all know what that means. We're gonna go around because we need the minutes. What's over here? Okay, we got more attic space. Is this one a little bit more open? Not really. So we got structural members here. You can see some of the spray foam going on. They are one of the luxury builders that do spray foam. Like I tell my clients that are interested in that, the climate here is one that is tough on spray foam insulation. It's very humid, very muggy year round. And so before you close, just do your moisture test and get your readings. We do have mold spores naturally in the world, so you will never have a house that has 0 mold spores, but you want to have a good baseline comparing your outside to your inside and making sure that you're not buying something that could potentially be a home that makes you sick in the future, right? But the air, I don't even think the air is really on. I don't feel it blowing in any room. I haven't felt it. It's the other side of that bathroom. I haven't felt it in any room, but it's really cool in all the rooms. Okay? But yeah, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing, loving the upgraded features in here again on inventory. Doing a really good job. We'll stop over, my bad. We'll step over, talk about pricing. Let me get out their way so they can get to doing what they actually got to do in here. So this one is the Barono plan, 725. And it's about 3,500 square feet. So if I'm comparing that to something, this is first floor wood. This would be like the same price point as like a 222 for Highland Homes. That is a plan by Highland Homes. Before you ask, I know somebody knew. Shout out to you if you knew and you're gonna have this question. What is a 222? That is a very popular 2-story plan by Highland Homes that they happen to build and sell in this neighborhood. I've sold a lot of them. It's probably my number 1 sold 2-story plan for Highland Homes. This is around the same size as that. I think Highland Homes plan is a little bit bigger square footage wise as a base, but this one feels wider and grander because this plan opens up off of that foyer, whereas on the 222 and some of the 224, you kind of go through the front door on Highland and you kind of go straight into a stair, or you can see the stair more immediate. And some of my clients of late have preferred that this stair is tucked off in the middle of the house, kind of like Weston does. That's like more of a more traditional Weston Homes feature, because even Perry Homes, a lot of their stairs, even if they do the spiral, they'll still be facing the door, so you still kind of walk into this home and you see the stair, which a lot of people haven't been loving, at least my people as of late. And so to have this, still get a spiral, still get a nice tall ceiling that goes from the front door to the back, 2-story back patio, great finishes. The only thing that they really skimped on, we got upgraded countertops, upgraded cabinets, upgraded flooring in here. The only thing they skipped on is the 8-foot doors. And they're doing so much magic mind manipulation that I'm not even noticing it while I'm walking in here, because they're giving you not archways, but these framed areas of the house that are 10, 11 feet tall. So I'm not even questioning the door height as I'm walking through, but this is a normal 6'8" door, right? But man, this is gorgeous. I got caught up in the house again. I didn't even tell you the price. But yeah, I did, because we talked about the 222. Yeah, so 725, that is gonna be probably a little bit higher. But as I'm coming through here, we got wood going up the stairs. A lot of people are gonna hit you with the carpet. We got the nice banisters. A lot of people are gonna hit you with drywall, depending on the price point. We got the wood floor in here. Looks like engineered hardwood. We got nice bases. We got cabinets going all the way up to the top. So where most people will probably stop at this first row, they're taking it to the top and adding that trim. We got built-in appliances, oversized island. To me, this would be worth that $7 to $725 that they're asking for, and we could probably get them. We could probably get them close to 6s on this one. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to show you this, because if you like this plan and you're looking at my neighborhood and you like what this is setting up to be, this house will be done in like a month. And I would hate to miss out on the opportunity to kind of undercut them, because the house is still kind of in its ugly duckling phase. It ain't glowed up all the way yet. Once it gets cleaned up and everything is installed and everything is in, the wiggle room that they're gonna be willing to give you is gonna be a little bit lower. Okay, so let's capitalize on this now, use that relationship that I got with them with my other bills and closings with them around the metro, and let's see what we can do. But I'm gonna have to tell the missus about the Barono plan. In a couple of years, we might have to make a little look-see and see what we can do, because this is a beautiful plan. All right, last but not least, we have this beautiful plan that is framing up to do some gorgeous things. I see what looks like a full-blown encased courtyard right there. One of the things that comes with buying an oversized lot, or sometimes in a cul-de-sac, you get this super long driveway, so you can park at what looks to be 3 cars in your garage and 4 cars in your driveway without even having to cross over the sidewalk and become a problem or HOA or ordinance risk, right? So this is gorgeous, and this is inventory, okay? So I'm trusting y'all. Again, I asked y'all, you wanna see it a little rough? I'm trusting you. Y'all better still be here. Matter of fact, whatever the time is right now, I want you to type the time in and say, I'm still here, Aaron, okay? Do that for me. All right, 3-car garage, tandem. You didn't have the width on this lot, but you had the depth. So when you have that depth and not necessarily the width, that's when you can get this really long drive, even longer than your neighbors that probably has a bigger back. They didn't have the same length that you have on their drive, okay? So we come in, before we even go into the door, come into your courtyard so you can have a little hidden little furniture out here, little oasis, have your little plants. And I'm a super fan of that, man. Always love the courtyard, just feels so elegant, so different from what you just see in most of the builders. Still would have room for a little decor up here. Gorgeous. All right, so this one kind of flips it back to a more traditional opening where you come into the door and you kind of see that stair off the immediate front. This is given to me. If you've been rocking with me for a while, there was probably one of the plans or one of the videos that really did well on my channel and kind of skyrocketed was the Versailles plan in Bridgeland. And it had like an office and a courtyard over here, like a full, really big courtyard, but that was like a 70 or 80 foot wide product. It was a much bigger home, but this is given that same layout. And I remember posting that thing on Instagram and YouTube, and they both were doing numbers, and the channel started to kind of take off from there when I transitioned into some of the bigger homes on the channel. So I appreciate y'all that's been rocking out with me, but that reminds me, this entrance reminds me a lot of that. Secondary bedroom over here. Good size closet, really good size closet. Looks like that's some locked storage over there that I ain't supposed to, no, bathroom. Okay, so instead of giving you an ensuite, they kind of make it like a semi-on, semi-shared. Make it a little bit more multifunctional. We have an office space over here. Good size for what you need it for. I would probably put the little wrought iron or the little, y'all have seen those ads where they put the little black framed door right there. You do have an entrance to your courtyard from the inside. I think that's cool. We still have full dining, okay? So we got dining, office, 2 beds down. That's doing what I'm expecting, the bare minimum of what I'm expecting a 60-foot product to do, okay? So let's see if they land this thing. Okay, so this kitchen did like what the Versailles plan did, except on the Versailles, again, much bigger house. It had like a backward stair up to the 2nd floor. This house isn't as big, doesn't quite call from that. But I'm loving, again, the cabinets, loving the hardware. Pot filler in inventory. That's a long lost luxury feature. And she brought it on this one. She wasn't playing with this one. Engineered hardwood, it looks like. Again, big, beautiful window looking at your backyard. So I see that pole on this one again. We'll go out just to put some eyes on it. I think that's that pole, if you can deal with, let's say, having a pool that's catty corner to here and not necessarily messing with that pole area, if you can deal with this, because a person that's going to afford this house is going to eventually be like, oh, I want a pool, I got the money to do it. That's the facts. You rerun these valves and things and you put that pool catty corner here, I think that's a win. Not gonna lie to you, I think that's a win. And because they know this pole is here and they know that this grounding rod is here, to me, I'm looking at that as opportunity, okay? Still, 3 for 3. We have outdoor kitchen prep, water, and gas on all 3 of her inventory. So that is a standard that she is upholding. And I love that that is the case, because that's a luxury feature, and that's one of those things that I would expect all luxury builders to do, and they all don't do it because it has a cost impact, and they know that they're gonna potentially lose money when reducing the price. Lose, right? Operative lose. Instead of making 70, they might make 60 with adding extra stuff, and a lot of builders will say, hey, we're just not gonna do that, okay? But it looks like on this footprint that Sharon is saying, hey, I'm gonna do it, and I love it, okay? Back here, you got your little mud area. What is It's probably a door off of your garage. Yes, it is. We have good sized laundry room. And let's just look at the views. The views on this is just, oh, my goodness. My. Is there a half bath here or is this a storage? More storage. So I would probably make that, if I was building this, I would probably make that its own ensuite, and I would probably add a half bath here. I'm sure there's a half bath option that you can put there. Great size room. I'm a fan, man. Really, really great size room. They want you to have your TV over here, headboard over here, enough room for a couch and other stuff over here. Really great size room. No make-ready station on this one, but again, they give you one that's a little bit bigger. Standalone tub. Got the tile. Would open it up, but it says let it go. Looks like it's still curing, so I'm not gonna mess with it. Little towel rack, love that. Man, I had to stick that. I had to stick that little gem right there, a little towel hook. But yeah, good size closet on this one. This one's a little bit smaller than the last one we were in. It looks like it was at the trade of having a much bigger room on this one. You got way more depth, it feels at least, on this bedroom than you do on the other one. And you get this little cool little courtyard, which I think is just fire. Love, love, love. All right, let's check out upstairs, see if they land this thing how they should. Peekaboo crew, I got you. Both sides on this one. Slide into movie room. They got lights on, not yet in this room. They're still working on stuff. Good size. Now, they did put the attic door in the movie room, so that would probably influence what or how you would want to do stuff if you would need to access that. So that would be something that if I was building, I would probably ask them, hey, can we put this in another like hall, or maybe can we put this, and it's probably just too dangerous up here because you would be elevated and by these stairs. That's probably the reason why it had to go there. But that would be a question that I would ask. Oh, this is a really wide room. I didn't expect this one to be so big on this one. Really big. This is a really big room, okay? Good size closet. One side of the Jack and Jill, which y'all been here long enough today to know I'm not walking through that thing. I'm walking around because I need them what? I need the minutes. It's the other side that I didn't get to show you from the other side. Yeah, it looks like they got circuits off upstairs. They're still working on stuff. This is the first bathroom I think I've seen so far that doesn't have like a super upgraded appliance or upgraded tile. and upgraded hardware. But they got the upgrades in other places, and this is a much bigger house. So when we get down here in a second and we start talking price, I think it will likely be justified. But if it ain't, I'll let you know, right? But what I do know is that with Miss Sharon, I got some room. So if you were to love this one and we don't quite love the price, let's see what we can do, right? Leverage those relationships, leverage what I got going on in the neighborhood. We got 4 actively going right now in the neighborhood. Bills that we got waiting to go out with various builders, a few with Highland, one with Chesmar, and then one with Newmark that we got going on, okay? So let's leverage that relationship. All right, last but not least, this was the Vincenza plan. Ain't no way this is smaller. Okay, so this is what I be telling y'all about. The Vincenza plan is actually smaller. Ain't no way that's the plan. We gotta go check out. 1 second, I'll be right back. Ain't no way that this is the plan and this is allegedly smaller than the one that we were just in. This feels so much bigger. How are they saying this is smaller? So let me go and see this address. If this is 8607, then they are doing some movie magic to me. And sometimes it happens to me just like it happens to y'all. Y'all come out here and be like, I don't want to see something under 3,800 square feet. And I'm telling you, this feels like a 3,800 square foot house, okay? They've just made a couple modifications, it feels like, but this on paper, on MLS, is being shown as just 3,315. That's crazy. Okay, so we got 4-car. We have a 3-car garage. We have 4-bedroom. Looks like we have a slightly extended patio. Looks like we have a movie room that was added up there, right? So we got engineered hardwood on the whole first floor. Yeah, upgraded cabinets, upgraded countertops, upgraded outdoor prep, pot fillers, upgraded hardware. I'm feeling it. They currently have this one priced, because it also has a decent sized backyard and that long drive. They have this one priced currently at $740, but I'm telling you, we can get that lower than $740. Why do I know that? Because I got the sales over here in this section. As we were looking at the first house, pointing across the street, those are my sales, okay? So I definitely know that we can get lower than $740, okay? In terms of what I've seen today, Newmark is positioning themselves to try to take over the 65 foot. And I, as someone that is very Highland Homes biased, they take care of me. I personally own a Highland home, but if I'm being so for real right now, if Newmark was in the same section with Highland in the 50s, our like dream plans, if I'm being just 100% with y'all, our dream plans in the 50 to 55 foot section were always kind of Newmark plans. And I think back to like the Highlands, I think back to Sienna, I believe had a 50 to 55. Cross Creek West had a really nice 50 to 55 foot wide product. And so if they were an option when we bought, who knows if I would have been such a fanboy of Highland like I was in this neighborhood, because Highland from the 40s, the 50s, and the 65s have been killing it. I would actually love for Highland to bring their bigger plans here, like their 70s and bigger, from the Huntington division to be a little bit more custom and kind of give us some options over here. I would love if they did that, but it doesn't seem like that is the mode that they're trying to take. I think they're testing them out in some north communities. I think they're gonna be in Creston or Two Step Farms, one of the other. Once the model is done, we'll take y'all up there to check those out. But I say all that to say, these plans are gorgeous. And if I showed you like a 222 plan or a 224 plan in inventory, and then I showed you this in inventory, I don't think that decision is as easy as it once was when it was like Dre's 65, which they build a beautiful plan, but the pricing, because they're a custom home builder, was always kind of shooting them in the foot. I think this conversation is a much harder conversation when they're giving you stuff like cabinets to the top, pot fillers, outdoor prep kitchens, hardwood floors throughout the front, giving you upgraded tile, carpet, doors, just everything that you can want in inventory, meaning you did not have to go to the design center and leave writing a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 check. That is a different conversation. And I think that Newmark is positioning themselves to dominate. We'll see if they continue to grow with the neighborhood. One thing I know is that Highland Homes is doing well. They've been the #1 seller here for the last few years, and they ain't going nowhere. The moment the developer is like, hey, I need y'all to buy some more lots, they buy them lots because they know that they're gonna sell them. They do a great job. Beautiful home builder, but they got some competition. I'm gonna be honest with them. I'm gonna give them that feedback, because the more competition that they know, and they know the feedback that y'all give, and if y'all liking this Newmark better than y'all are liking the other stuff, they take that and they make adjustments, okay? But having said that, this was a long day. Y'all been with me in my neighborhood now close to an hour. Got the most sales here in Meridiana over the last couple years, and I live here. This is the hood. This is the crib, right? If anybody can get you a deal here, if anybody can get you extra incentive here, if anybody can get you that extra blind package, if anybody can get you those extra appliances, if anybody can get you that extra generator, if anybody can get you that extra closing costs, if anybody can get you that extra deduction in price, you are looking at the guy right now, okay? So hit me up, let me be a resource to you. I'm gonna drop my number on the screen one last time, drop the QR code. Booking a call is actually the best way to get in touch with me. Like now, I've been filming for like 2 hours. If you'd have called me right now and I had a couple calls, I'm ignoring that because I'm working, taking care of clients, doing stuff. We got stuff going on. If you call that number, it's actually gonna go to my AI assistant. They're gonna ask you some questions to make sure that we're locked in, and they're gonna try to book you on an appointment, so don't be shocked. Shout out to Ava. She's gonna ask you some questions, try to book you on a call. Don't be shocked, okay? Don't fear the robots, work with it, okay? If you shoot me a text, shoot me an email, any of those other ways, I'll get to you as soon as I can, I promise. But the goal is gonna be the same. Let's sit down, let's talk about your goals more in depth. Let's make sure that I am the best fit for you and you are the best fit for me, and that we have goals of doing the thing that you wanna do that are aligned. And I will fight as hard as I possibly can, using all the leverage and all the contracts that I have in the metro to get you the absolute best deal. Only way I can do that is if you hit me up. If you were to come out here and check out these big, beautiful homes by yourself, just tell them that Aaron sent you. And again, the way that I have this thing structured, I try to do as well as I can and try to be as fair as I can and not a headache to these people on all the transactions. That way, when you show up without me, they treat you as though I'm there. That is the goal, and I think I'm doing a decent job of that all over the metro. So whether or not Meridiana is your place, or you looking in Fulshire, you looking in Cypress, you looking in Hockley, you looking in Waller, got contracts all over right now. And I think that we're doing a good enough job to where you can get love no matter where you're going, as long as you see them on this channel. But that was the video for the day. If you love these homes and you thought that Newmark was coming with it, I absolutely know that you are gonna love this video right here.